Heroes in Action CTS curriculum, Drills Make Skills, we're going to talk about denying the bad guy privacy. What I mean by that is not letting them take you from a public location to a private location. A big part of this is dropping the body or anchoring your body towards any type of object to not let them take you away. Whether it's an abduction in a car, or if you're jogging and you got your music you're listening to and they try to pull you behind bushes, a dumpster, or you're on vacation and somebody's trying to pull you into their hotel room. Deny them privacy. That's what we're going to go over in this next segment. Okay, the first part of denying privacy, Calvin and Sabrina are going to help demonstrate, would be dropping your body weight. This is going to be if somebody is trying to pull you into a location. So if I were to grab Sabrina, and we'll go over this with the buttons on the body as well in the next segment, but if I were to grab Sabrina and pull her, if she were to stand on one leg, I can pull her off balance. If she were to stand feet together, I can pull her off balance. If she stands sideways, feet wide, and bends her knee, it's a lot harder for me to pull her off balance. So we're, in a sense, playing tug of war with each other. She's not letting me, she's actually pulling back. So the same thing with me and Calvin. If I'm trying to pull him, he's just going to drop his body weight and make it hard for me to pull him off balance. So for the drill, I want you guys to practice. Practice one person pulls the other, and you've got to stop them. So face each other. Calvin, grab Sabrina and just drag her across the floor. Her tennis shoes might not be the best for this floor. And switch. So that brings up a good point. Based on the variables, if we are on a wet surface, a grass surface, an icy surface, you might be able to lose your footing. If Calvin grabs me and I latch on to this pole here, which could be a street sign, it could be a stop sign, it could be a tree, it could be the door jamb or the roof of a car to keep me from pulling him to the private location. I still grab, I still take a wide stance, and I bend the knees. When he pulls me, I should not go anywhere. So if Sabrina grabs this pole and Calvin grabs her, Sabrina should be a lot more stable. This is where you're going to be screaming to attract attention to get bystanders to come help you get out of a bad situation. Calvin grabs the pole. Sabrina grabs Calvin. Pulls. Now I'm going to help. He's not going to let us pull him off that pole. And the whole time he's yelling and screaming and attracting attention. So what I want you to do at home is practice. I grab, she drops her body weight, and yell and scream. Know what to say to attract attention. Like they got my child, or if it's a child, you're a stranger, stop touching me there, stop hurting me. Anything that's going to motivate somebody to run help you. Drop your body weight and scream.
Help, he's got my child.
Drop your body weight and scream.
Help, help, he's got my child.
Do it to each other.
Help, he's got my child.
Switch.
Help, help, let go of me. Let go of me.
And practice also grabbing onto a door jamb or something at home to make it harder. Stop this video and work on playing tug of war with each other. Try to take somebody into the bathroom and don't let them. Okay, the next part that I want to add to the deny privacy is if I'm latching on to an object, whether it's a pole, a street sign, a door jamb, and let's say he is strong enough to pull me off of this pole. If that happens, then that's going to go right into me hitting the buttons on the body that you're going to learn on one of the other video segments to get them to let go so I can get away. So if they're strong enough to pull me off the body, I go right into attack or offense mode and I just start hitting whatever buttons I can to get him to let go so I can get away. So Sabrina's on the pole. Calvin's grabbing her. She's yelling and screaming.
Help! Help! He's got my child!
He's strong enough to pull her off the pole. She goes right into the buttons that we discussed in one of the previous videos, gets him to let go, and she gets to safety. So stop the video and practice latching onto something. If they pull you off, go right into hitting the buttons. Okay, what happens if, and this is one of those what if questions, what if they're not pulling me, but what if they're pushing me? They're pushing me into a room, they're pushing me into a van, they're pushing me behind some bushes, trees, or a dumpster. What do I do there? So from here, Calvin is pushing me. What I want to do is put on my brakes and lean into him. You'll see this move in a lot of football players. Go ahead and push. I want it to spin so that he keeps going forward and I just go in the opposite direction. So if I'm pushing Calvin, Calvin puts on the brakes, makes it hard, and then he spins and gets me to fall forward while he takes off. I push Sabrina. Sabrina puts on the brakes and she spins to get away from me while I fall off balance falling forward. Let's have you guys practice demonstrating this. One of the things we want to do is, just take turns. Calvin pushes Sabrina, Sabrina pushes Calvin, and you guys do this safely at home. Remember, make sure there's no furniture or anything around that you might fall into. A good way to practice is if you have a bathroom or a bedroom door, try to push your training partner into that room and you have to not let them. Put on the brakes, drop the body, and spin and go in the opposite direction. Go ahead and practice a little bit. Switch. Good. Switch. Switch. Now this could be me walking and texting, not being tuned in, not paying attention, and then all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere and I have to put on the brakes and take off and run. So if you're tuned out, which I don't recommend, put your head on a swivel and be aware of what's going on around you. But if you're tuned out and somebody tries to push you off balance, train this so it becomes second nature. Brakes, spin, run. Stop that video, practice safely, and we'll see you in the next segment. Remember, the reason why I created CTS, or conflict and threat strategies. Conflicts, arguments can always escalate to threats and become something worse. The whole purpose is to teach you to get yourself out of a bad situation. Most of what I teach when it comes to offensive attacks is 1, deny privacy, 2, know the weaknesses of the body, 3, have an exit plan or a strategy to get away. So a big part of denying privacy is not letting somebody pull you or push you. There's a lot of other variations that I can demonstrate that will be coming up in future videos. I hope you enjoyed this segment and we'll see you in the next set. Thank you.